Stays crunchy. Stays crunchy. And milk.
Man, that was loud. Bruh. I was like, what the hell are we talking about? And it's like, oh, kind of don't want to talk about sports game, but then I kind of made to talk about sports because it was opening day today, and of course the Cleveland Guardians, my hometown baseball team, and that guy's hometown baseball team, won their home opener. Their season opener. They were not at home; they were out in the middle of the damn country in Kansas. They won in extra innings, 7-4, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that score for you before I lie to you. 7-4 in 10. So we went to extras to get it done, but we did get it done indeed. So extra dope. Stephen Kwan got us the lead, and then Manzardo got us extended the lead with a 2-run shot. So he's outside. The Cleveland Guardians are back at it, and we were so close last year. Close and whatever. We ended up hitting the brick wall that is the Yanks, but we'll see what we can do this go around.
I got a good feel about this season.
Same, man. I really am excited about it. I it's weird to be to have become I'm not gonna say a sincere fan of baseball, but I'm pretty fucking with baseball, man. So, and it's just because we're in an amazing time for the sport. Like when you got fucking people like Shohei out there, got that kid pitching in Pittsburgh and so forth. It's like so many dope players playing the game right now that it's like, this is a delight to be a part of. So that's what's cracking, and I dig it. So, but also, of course, the Cavaliers did without Evan Mobley tonight what they needed to do, and that was, of course, get a win against the not decimated per se, but but kind of lowly San Antonio Spurs. Dan is at that game. Was at that game tonight, which is why he's not on with us this evening, because he went to go see that game. So he got to kick it and see a Wemby-less San Antonio Spurs, who are, let's look at them in the standings right now. If I'm not mistaken,
where are they at? I was just looking at standings earlier today.
They are 31-41 and just about to be eliminated from playoff contention. They are technically only 4 games back of the play-in tournament. But so I'm not knocking it. So because anything can take a turn, but that is where they currently sit, and we'll see what happens with them. But it's good to get another win in. We are 1 game away from 60 wins for the season, which is super dope. Gabe and I talk about the Cavs. I'm not gonna say every day, but just about every game. So, often.
I don't get to see enough of the games.
Bro, that is what. So people have been like, the complaint has been like the NBA ratings are down, and it's literally because there's nowhere to watch the games. They're all on cable. They don't do any local stuff anymore. Like, you remember used to be, we used to watch on Channel 43. And if you lived around these parts, you know that. And they don't do that anymore. They don't have local games anymore. They just have cable, and everything's a cable package. And so, of course, the ratings are down. You can't watch it any damn where. And it sucks. And I hate that we've come to that point in time where it's like every game is on a cable package. Same thing goes for the Guardians. I happen to get MLB for free from T-Mobile, so I kind of can watch the games, but not really. And so it's just, that's why people bootleg games. It's like people use these various services to let them watch things over the internet and watch streams based out of Asia and so forth and so on, because they have priced us out. The little man who just like me, I still have an antenna. That's how I watch. Like, if I watch local television, it's via antenna. And so, like I said, they kind of have priced the everyman out, and that absolutely stinks. But what is one to do but be an old man and complain?
That does suck, though. I mean, you're taking away everything from us. We can't even get health care. get some damn baseball games.
Yeah.
Pretty soon they'll be charging for porn. A little side thing about our Guardians. I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but I don't feel like getting into it to people. And little context. I'm in Texas right now, and Texas people are Texan, and I'm afraid if I call the Cleveland Guardians, which is their name right now, I'm going to spark some kind of debate. Like, why did they change the name? This PC country of ours used to be a proper country. What happened to Chief Wahoo? And then, like, all that stuff. Like, you don't care, Texan. Shush. But I don't want to get into it with somebody. I really don't. I just want to sit at the pool and watch my kids play in the pool and not get into a social, political debate with somebody over a team's name.
I am, of course, in r/Cleveland, which is the Reddit for the city of Cleveland. And somebody today posted happy opening day, and they have a picture of the old Muni one with, the Chief Wahoo sign up. And that went quickly off the rails because, like, oddly enough, many people would call that subreddit woke because Cleveland is, of course, a liberal left-leaning city, kind of a bastion in this state at this point. So, of course, it's going to be more people in there who are, leaning leftward. And, of course, there's like, somebody's got to be a motherfucker like you up in here just trying to start some shit. And then they try to pretend like, what are we talking about here? It's like, motherfucker, you know what you're doing. But you want to pretend like you don't and act like shit's sweet. And then when you get called on it, you try to pretend like, well, I have no idea why you would be so angry with me. It's like, no one's angry with you. We just know you on some bullshit. And they are. They be on some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's the problem with all that.
Go. It's been. I mean, yeah. At this point, let it go. The team name is not going back. You sure as hell can't afford to buy the team and change it back. So shut your mouth.
For real. It's like just, I don't know. It's dumb for dumb's sake. Oh damn! The Lakers lost by 2 points. They came back from a pretty decent deficit and was winning that game for a while there. So that is the Bulls of Chicago striking. Where are we at with the Bulls? The Bulls, I feel like, are they're in they would be in the play-in tournament at where they are currently. They're 9 in the East. So we are. Man, how many games we got left?
Well, math is not my strongest suit. That's why I didn't become an accountant. But I'm trying to figure out what's the number they need to win in order to start resting their guys.
Yeah, good question. Well, like I said,
number 1 in the East.
We sat Mobley down tonight. Oddly enough, Jared Allen wants to play the entire season. So that's a goal that he has. Let's pull up our schedule. Where are you at, Cleveland? Let's rack up how many are left.
Well,
full schedule.
59 plus 14.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games left. At Detroit, LA here, New York here, at San Antonio. So we got to come down to Texas way. Sacramento's coming our way. Chicago's coming our way. Pacers twice at and here, and the Knicks and then one time at the Garden. And Detroit has the taste of blood on them for us because they got real close very recently. In fact, we won on a Darius Garland last second half court shot that was insane. So I know they out to get us. The Clippers fucking smoked us when we played them recently. They were a part of that 4-game skid. The Knicks, let's see. Let's look at let me see what the Knickerbockers are doing.
I do like calling them the Knickerbockers.
Knickerbockers in 3rd, right? And they are way back of us and way back of the Celtics. So they really won't get much movement, but they probably do want to keep that 3rd spot and not end up.
Right.
Yeah. So they probably will end up playing us hard both those games. Man, can't call it. So basically, I don't know. It ends up being like, I guess if 9, probably a combination of wins and Celtics losses that equal out to, I think probably maybe 5 would give us the having the best record in the East, and that could secure us that, so we can just then as you said, we can probably sit some people down and just kick it. Normally, I have a Dan here who probably knows the exact number and can tell me, but I love the Cavs, but at the same time, I'm kind of a novice when it comes to numbers like that. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting how that plays out. But hey, I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for the guards. It's super, super exciting for the new baseball season to begin.
You know what?
Go on.
I am going to call them Guardians to one of these Texan people, see if it sparks something.
They're the Guardians. There is no discussion. They are the Commanders. They are the Texans and no longer the Oilers. Get the fuck over yourselves. It's like, this is just what it is, man. I'm not.
Thank you, old man.
Yeah,
change.
for sure. I'm just not giving people that kind of anything. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting anything out of me like that with that. So I cannot call it, and I refuse to, in fact. So that's what's up with that. But let's get a proper show started here. Let me pull my notes up, and hopefully they'll get them on this side of the screen. Then I'll go into an explanation of our recording setup and everything like that tonight. But as we do it, red leather, yellow leather. Let me get a sip of water.
Turn these up.
What'd you say?
I was just wondering if I could turn these up.
Oh,
From my headphones.
Where's my snares? It's Task Force Tuesday, the Knox and the Black Car. I got 500 packs in my backyard. Clear 12-12s that look like stuffed shells. I'm cutting niggas' throats on sales while they puff L's. Don't leave nothing unbagged. Shave everything. I learned from the OGs to save everything. They come by one more time, they gon' hop out. They too deep and one is a bitch, she get knocked out. Then I can get rid of the pack. But I just cop this pretty chrome thing, so I'm dipping with that. Downshifting on them like I got gears on me. Beside that, I got about 5 years on me. Scared to death running like I got bears on me. My Timbs start feeling like they Nike Airs on me. It's hard for me to slow down. It's like I'm on the throughway. My belt's in the crib on the floor by my two-way. Now I'm trying to hold my hammer up and my pants too. If they don't kill me, they gonna give me a number I can't do. Rather it be streets than jail where I die at. And I'm asthmatic, so I'm looking for somewhere to hide at. But they too close, and I got this new toast. Imagine if I would have let off a shot or two. You know what I gotta do. Run. And then it goes from there. It's a very great song. It's off the Pretty Tony album. That's Jadakiss's verse off of that particular song. You should go listen to that. I'm saying I'd never do it the justice it deserves. But hey, welcome to it. It's episode 568, and these jeans ain't loose. I am your host, the Internet's Terror 713, joined by the RV'n Puerto Rican. It's my homeboy Gabe.
Hey everybody. Watch what group chat you get added to, you freaking losers.
Man, we could have talked about that, but that would have just all that does is get me back into politics and upset me. So
I wanted to do that but yeah, I don't want to get into it either. It's angering.
Yeah, just like y'all motherfuckers want to send a woman to jail off of having a computer server. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Anywho, y'all, the normal setup for this show involves this microphone and this service. And the microphone stopped working out of the blue. And I was like, what has happened to my mic? Is not working. And everybody was like, oh, uninstall the software, reinstall the software. Everything will be gravy. I do that and ain't shit been gravy since. So I typed in the computer today. I was like, can this work? about what we have going on here. And it was like, not only can it work, it's kind of what it's made to do. And I'm like, oh shit. So the recorder we use when we record in a group setting, or if I were on the road or so forth and so on, has a USB-C input that lets me hook it up to this computer. And then I tell the computer that the microphone, the nice microphone, this is my condenser microphone. It's like the best sounding mic I own. Via this device, which is a track P4 by the good people at Zoom, not the Zoom people you'd have your office meetings with, the Zoom, the microphone manufacturers. Anyway, let's me set all this up and can then record this. Now, this service, which is called Talk Studio by Streamlabs, has not been recording any of my audio. That seems weird because if I click this little button down here that you can't see, it's on my computer screen that has my microphone, it lets me do a test record of my audio. And when I do a test record of my audio, guess what? It's fine. Sounds great. Meaning it is recording, it has the ability to record. But if I record a show, nothing. Blank tracks. It's infuriating. Because that has not been working, I was like, fine, we're going to do this because, well, the whole point being, hopefully this is recording. Hopefully Streamlabs is recording right now, and this is nothing. Breezy. But if not, the P4, the PodTrack P4 over here is recording this as backup. And so we got that going here. I'll even push the button for you. Oh, no, you got to hold that one. And of course, here's this one. Ooh. No, I want to stop that. Ooh, hold on. There it is. The other one I'll play toward the end here, because that's when we do the outro. That's when that song plays. Worry not, we'll get there when it's time for you to hear that track. Anyway, we're recording a whole new setup. So what then that means is this, okay? Remember last time we had Gabe on, we discovered toward the end of the show that we might as well just call Gabe because Starlink is not great at both doing video and audio at the same time. Looks pretty good. His connection seems pretty strong, but as soon as we were trying to this audio, I was clipping out for him, he was clipping out for me, but we knew that the phone works. So the audio you hear of Gabe is coming in over my phone, but my phone is, of course, an iPhone. And iPhones don't have headphone jacks. So I was like, how the fuck am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And so I look it up, and I'm like, oh, shit. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly run across town to Walmart and buy something like this, which is a Lightning to, a headphone jack. I'll just plug this into my phone, plug the headphone jack into the PodTrack recorder, which it has a space for, and we'll just do that. This piece of shit didn't work. It's going right back to Walmart. I, am supposed to not be shopping at Walmart. We all protesting the motherfuckers, but I did it anyway because I needed this to do the show with my mans. And then that's what it didn't work. So it's going back. So I'm getting my money back. I shouldn't have shopped there to begin with. That's just the universe telling me some things. So then I had to get my iPad from my kid and do the same thing. Basically, the phone call is going through my phone to my iPad. The iPad is plugged into the PodTrack, and that's how we get Gabe's audio. And so this is all happening right now to make this production work. What do they say, man? Is spitting and bale wire, whatever you're saying, or whatever, twine. So we out here, we doing the dang thing, and we outside. And that's what was crackling. I think you might have froze, bro. Like your video. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. And then of course
listen intently to what you're saying.
No. You literally froze and like your internet dropped down to like one bar. I'm not saying you were, I know you were listening. Yeah. Oh. So again, that's another reason, like I said, we do this with this little dual setup. So you can kind of see Gabriel, a lovely visage that it is, as he sits outside the RV in the truck. And but you get some decent sound from us. And I hope the quality of this all works out. And when I go to edit all this, we hope it's all easy. And if I don't give you a video this week, it's because it wasn't easy. But we hope. So that's what's popping with that. So now you've been caught up. You know what's up. That's lovely. We hope you're good. Before we
I hope they hear this because I'm gonna bring my A game.
before you A game it up, because remember you have a video now. You say I have you a whole intro set up for this. Anything popping that's just not a part of what's going to be your story that you care to share with the listeners or your homie? Hi.
Not that I can think of. Like, there's lots of social shit to talk about, but I don't know if people want to hear that. I mean, I don't know if I got any different take than the average comedian or pundit.
Well, here you go. I got a couple of news stories. Actually, I have 3 news stories for you this go around, and I got you some of the assholes. Right. It's going to be great. Let me set it off with the news stories first. Let's see. I'm going to give you this story Box sent me. I don't know what we're going to call it. We're going to call this medium news. Not sad, not happy. Well, kind of sad. Leaning sad. This was leaning sad. The next one is
sad adjacent.
The next one is slightly political, but we'll delve into that one. And the last one I think is decent news. I think interesting news. So first one, like I said, Box sent me this one. The version he got me was from The Guardian, but I went and found a local to the area of reporting on it. That way we had something like this. So this is from WCPO 9 in Cincinnati. Jay Shakur on the byline. He brought an entire city street. Now Trenton wants it back, but the owner says they aren't paying what it's worth. Jason, let me pull this over here so I'm not looking over there. So I'm looking down the barrel of the camera. Jason Fauntleroy brought a vacant town in Trenton, Ohio 3 years ago for $5,000 at Butler County Sheriff's Office auction, hoping to build a home on it. With the purchase came more than just a lot. He bought the entire street of Bloomfield Court. I've always wondered if that was possible. You know what I'm saying? Because I would like to buy my old neighborhood over there on 54th and Store. It's like I want it all. But there you go. In October, the city began the process of reclaiming the land through eminent domain, and Fauntleroy said he isn't being offered all he deserves. He said instead of assessing all of the land, including the street, only the lot was appraised. Fauntleroy calls his interactions with the city of Trenton a nightmare. They shut me out, Fauntleroy said. They blocked my calls. It's hard to even get through to anybody. Trenton City Manager Marcos Nichols told us the city's actions were the result of contentious conversations and Fauntleroy's behavior. Fauntleroy said he just wants the full and fair value. We took his unanswered questions to the city of Trenton. Nichols said the reason he was able to purchase the street in the first place is not totally clear. I'm not sure how that occurs other than it was a private drive that was created through a homeowners association. Trenton City Manager Marcos Nichols said the homeowners association was responsible for maintaining the property and upkeeping it. Fauntleroy owns everything outlined in blue on the map. Man, you should see this map. In fact, hold on here. I will slide this over here.
Sure.
I'm going to share the screen. And can I open this image in a new tab so maybe I can get a bigger image of it? It's not massive, but I'm going to share the screen, which is entire screen. And you guys can get you can kind of see what my man's bought here. So
that's all his.
Yeah, he owns all of that.
He owns a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, that's kind of kick ass. Man.
And 5,000?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay, we gotta go hit up the sheriff's auctions. When we asked Nichols why only a portion of the lot was appraised, he wasn't able to elaborate. I cannot speak on the appraised value. Of course you can't. Nichols said the city's goal is to convert the private drive into a public roadway so the city can be responsible for maintaining it. Still, Fauntleroy wants what he's due. Treat people fair. Do honest work, Fauntleroy asks for the city. Don't just take advantage of someone because they don't have the means of getting an attorney. Oh, that's literally where that story ended. Holy smokes. I expected that to be more. So of course, people, cities, states, so forth and so on. They use eminent domain it's like a sledgehammer sometimes. If they want it, they're gonna take it, and they're not gonna do nothing about it. And it's kind of trash that that's the way the system works, because they can be like, "Well, we need it." Like, do you need it? Because you didn't need it up until now, when this black man bought it. So what's that about? I realize Fauntleroy is a real fancy lad name, but he's still a black man. So it just seemed kind of shady.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't care, but why did they show up to the auction and buy it?
Thank you. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be your show notes. You actually listen. You can actually watch the story. There's actually video of it if you are so inclined. So worry not. Next one. This one, like I said, literally I just came across today on Blue Sky. Wired has been trying to do journalism that keeps their foot on the neck of all this bullshit going on. But anything that they got via a Freedom of Information Act request, they don't put behind a paywall. And I think this is going to make some of y'all chuckle, but of course you know what it is. David Gilbert on the byline, again, Wired, and again, this will be in the show notes. Super Bowl halftime show complaints focused on lack of DEI for white people. The FCC received 125 complaints about Kendrick Lamar's concert, according to public records obtained by Wire, with many focusing on the lack of white performers. As the most watched halftime show of all time, one that exclusively featured black performers, Kendrick Lamar's historic performance during Super Bowl, 59, was bound to draw some complaints. But according to the Federal Communications Commission, response to a Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, request from Wired, the single biggest source of anger was not about the performance itself. It was that there were not enough white people on stage. I think that is racist. There aren't any white people in this event, one complaint wrote. Another from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania added, there's something wrong when you can't even put white people on with talent. In response to Wired's FOIA requests, the FCC published 125 complaints sent to the agency for some of the more than 133 million people watching it. So 133 million people watched it. 125, 3 digits, complain. Some complain about the vulgar and obscene language uses. Others focus on the inability to understand this rap crap. And some ask why Madonna or Eminem weren't performing. Madonna. Despite its detractors, Lamar's performance was widely considered a cultural feat, coming just a few days after he won 5 Grammys for the Drake diss track, Not Like Us. But dozens of complaints were open in their belief that featuring the all-black ensemble at halftime was racist against white people in a bizarre twist on the wider culture war over diversity, equity, and inclusion. For years, right-wing politicians and personalities have been loudly blaming DEI policies for everything from the attempted assassination of Donald Trump to doors falling off planes and bridges collapsing. During his 2024 election campaign, Trump claimed there is definite anti-white feeling in this country. His administration has since cracked down heavily on DEI policies at both public and private institutions. Some of the initial online backlash to Lamar's February performance accused the entire show of being a form of DEI. But the FCC complaint suggested some Super Bowl viewers feel white people should have been the beneficiaries of more diversity. No diversity, white, Latin, Native American, etc., but it seems the black community got their spotlight, one viewer from Clovis, California wrote to the FCC. Another complaint alleges the lack of white people was somehow a throwback to a previous era, as if there was another period in history when only black people performed at Super Bowl halftime shows. The absence of representation from other races takes us back in time, a complaint from Monroe, Illinois wrote. Many complaints completely miss what critics said was the point of the show, which was to highlight the struggle of black artists to achieve proper representation while seeing their art, talent, and culture appropriated by others. Part of Lamar's message was delivered by actor Samuel L. Jackson, who played the character of Uncle Sam. but this appeared to be too much for some people. Why was Uncle Sam black when Uncle Sam is white? A viewer from Daytona Beach, Florida, complained while appearing to suggest that Uncle Sam was an actual historical character rather than a symbol of military propaganda. Racist and anti-white NFL show, another angry viewer wrote. Samuel Jackson's Uncle Sam mocked white people. Others attempted to thinly mask their racist comments by using dog whistles, describing the show as very ghetto and low-life trash. The controversy over Lamar's performance highlights the hypocrisy around the DEI backlash. Experts say the term has come to serve as a modern-day slur wielded against people of color, while at the same time, the people offended by it see themselves as being victims of a lack of diversity.
It's calling something racist is the real racism to some.
Good Lord. That made me happier than it should have, but it did make me happy.
I don't.
I realize.
I wonder who these people are.
I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, I know what race they are, but like, are they serious? Are they trolling? What are they? Who does an FCC complaint anyway?
Lots of people, man. You remember when Janet Titty popped out, it was a problem. So people be on that shit, man.
Yeah, I heard Prince's halftime show got a lot of FCC complaints because the guitar. Some of them were like the guitar was very phallic.
Yeah, motherfuckers. I know we're Cleveland's longest running podcast, and both Ohio stories are from the Cincinnati area. I'm sorry, guys. It just happens that way sometimes. Sometimes it's more Ohio than Cleveland, Ohio. This story, I think, is pretty nifty. It's from 91.7 WVXU, which is a part of the NPR network of stations. Tanya Weingartner on the byline. This Cincinnati library book was returned nearly a century after its due date. And I just thought that was neat. So librarians at the Westwood and Prince Hill branches of the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library got quite a surprise last year. A copy of Wild West by Bertrand W. Sinclair was returned after 98 years. That's crazy. I've been here a while, and I've seen books come back that were due in the 80s, in the 90s, and even the 70s. But this is the first time I've come across a book that was almost a century overdue. Christopher Smith, Genealogy and Research Service Reference Librarian, tells WVXU. According to the date slip, in the back of the book, it was checked out of the Price Hill branch sometime in 1926 and was due back on November 23rd, 1926. It was never returned until now. This book looks kick-ass, y'all. Again, I'm going to open image. Here, I'm going to open image in a new tab. Then I'm going to drag that over here. Man. I just want you to see the book because it just looks, I don't know, I think it just looks dope. Quick screen share. Look at that book, man. That's cool.
Well kept, though.
Yeah, that's not in terrible shape for I mean, it's 100+ years old, you know what I'm saying? So who knows when it was printed up. I just dig that, man. It just looks neat to me. Close that window. Sorry. The book was discovered by family members cleaning out the home of an elderly loved one who had died. It was found on a bookshelf with other books, though Sam says it's unclear to whom the book belonged. We assume it's the person who checked it out, but we don't know that, he says, noting the library does have some old records, but it would take a lot of digging to see if it still has lending records going back that far. It's also unlikely the person who checked it out would have only died recently. Well, yeah, they probably, It was returned to the Westwood branch about 5 miles away and more than 35,000 days. Wow, 35,000 days late. The library no longer charges fines, but if it did, he calculates the fine would have been roughly $730. The average cost of a hardback novel in 1926, he points out, was $2. The way I look at it, someone either loved this book, and I think they did, or they just forgot about it, says Smith. I assume the person just loved the book and decided, nope, I'm going to keep that. After about 2 years, he notes the library likely, though he can't say for certain, sent someone out for the book. That's why we red leather, yellow leather, people. Sent someone out to look for the book. He says library policy at the time would have been to go after the borrower, so their borrowing privileges would have likely have been affected. It's really hard to say. That's what I mean when I say there's more mystery behind it than there is stuff that I could actually state. Either way, the book was clearly well cared for despite its age. Smith reports it is in decent shape. Jesus Christ, man, I cannot read y'all. The library did purchase another copy of the book 2 or 3 years after the original went missing, and it remains in circulation. Oh, that's crazy. Now it has a friend. Normally, for a book this old, that's fiction, we wouldn't necessarily keep a second copy, he tells WXVU. But in this case, I felt it deserved a place on the shelf. So I had it recatalogued because it had fallen out of the system decades and decades ago, and it's back on the shelf and can be checked out. There's a little bit more to that story, but I think that's plenty to have been had here. And of course, the link will be in your show notes. You can go back and check it out if you are so inclined. Man, but that's really cool, bro.
Well, as a slow reader myself, I can empathize. You know,
you got any books that you're like, man, that's gonna take me about 100 years to get through.
Not yet. War and Peace looks like one that would take that long, though.
Yeah. Oh, man, I don't know. I just thought that was so. I don't know. For some reason, I liked it. Plus, libraries are under attack. NPR is under attack in this country right now, so it's just kind of nice to know that. I don't know, something good can come out of things like that. And I just think that's pretty nifty. And so that is the case, y'all. That was your news stories for the week. Hope you enjoyed them. And that's what's calculating with that. But now it's time for me to hand the reins over the show over to Gabriel. And as y'all recall, last time he was here, I made a point to whip up Gabe his own intro. So I'm going to come push play on that. And then we get back from that video. Boom, it's his to talk to you about what he feels like talking about. Let's go. We are indeed Gabbin with Gabe. What's the good word from the road, dear sir?
Well, some words aren't always good on the road. I've been stuck in the Houston area for a while, just taking care of some business. So there's not really much to talk about travel-wise. But I do remember I've never told a few stories from the road, and they were about confrontations. Now, everything's not going to be peaches and cream when you travel. So sometimes, some shit goes down, and those are kind of humorous when you look back at them. But these are some stories I have to tell. I have temper issues sometimes. I do. This is well documented on the show. But I think that the other people were being kind of jerks in this situation. So one confrontation went down. I think it was Pio Pico, and it was near San Diego. I left my stuff in the dryer a little bit too long. I'm getting ahead of myself. So we are members of these chain of resorts that are across the country. It's how we're able to afford staying at these places, staying at certain places around the country. If we paid for a park every time we stopped, it would be, ridiculous. Can't afford that shit. So we bought a membership, and they have some pretty nice facilities here, and one had a wash, and most of them have washer and dryers, right? But they have rules. Get your shit out of the washer. Get your shit out of the dryer. Don't make people wait. And I pushed that rule a little bit too much because we were having some fun at the pool. So I left my stuff in the dryer a little bit too long, and somebody took it out. All I did was remark, "Oh, somebody took our stuff in the dryer." It's like, "Yeah, you left it in there a little bit too long." It's like, "Okay, well, I'm sorry. I was at the pool." It's like, "Well, you shouldn't do that." I'm like, "Okay, well, I apologize. You gonna let it go or not, buddy?" And so I started loading my other stuff into the dryer, and I'm unloading the dryer that wasn't emptied out for me, as that gentleman was so kind to do. And I hear him say, "Lint trap." I'm like, "All right, this motherfucker." So I took care of, and the thing was, I did empty the lint trap. I get a strange joy out of it. So do my kids. Sometimes I let the kids do it for me. They like scraping and keeping the lint. My youngest boy likes to keep it. He's very outdoorsy and everything. He likes to keep it for fire starter.
Yeah.
Like, he starts his fires with sparks and all that shit.
Nice.
That's a story for another day. But like, he's if it goes down, he's gonna be needing us Rick Grimes style.
Shit.
So,
Man, I have so much goddamn like lint trap fuzz, man. Should I be holding on to it?
You want to send it our way? It's light, so it shouldn't cost too much to send.
Oh my god.
So I walk over with the lint trap in my hand, and I put it in the guy's face, and I said, "What does this look like to you, sir?" Because I was just not in the mood for his shit. And he said, "You should have left your stuff in the dryer." It's like, okay, this is what this is really about. I wasn't apologetic enough about leaving the stuff in the dryer too long. And I said, "Look, I already apologized for that. You gonna let it go or not?" I mean, and he's like, "All right, just leave me alone, all right?" And that's when I shouldn't have said this, but I said, "You know what? There's an old expression. Don't start no stuff, there won't be no stuff." I had to say it. Because there's a list of things I've always wanted to say in a confrontation. One of them was like that. Another one is like, "Look, we can handle this like gentlemen.
Or we can get us some gangster shit."
I could have said that too in that situation, actually.
Yeah.
Like, "Look, I apologize. You can accept it or not. You can handle this like gentlemen, or we can get some gangster shit."
Oh my god! And how did he take that?
We started shouting back and forth. His wife was there.
Of course you did. And
she works in the. Here's the thing. She works in the arts and crafts section of the resort.
Yeah.
So she starts flexing her powers. Like, "Look, you don't want to get written up for your behavior, do you, sir?" Like, you. How fucking pathetic are you? Because you got to flex just a tiny bit of power over somebody. You're minuscule, and you can't see my fingers, but they're very close together. Like, your little minuscule bit of power. This is what you got to do. You got to flex it. I'm like, "Look, this guy started this shit with me. What? I don't want to get written up. I left my stuff in the dryer a little bit too long. I got 4 kids." And she's like, she's like, "Well, your wife could have watched the kids while you got stuff out of the dryer." Yeah.
I understand that you don't like the bandy about the B word because you're a better person than your friend is. But man, it would have been a quick, fast, in a hurry, bitch.
I gotta tell you, I was thinking it.
Yes, but you're a better man because you didn't express it. You didn't let it, bruh. I could never. Okay.
Well, he's an old man. I don't want to come to blows, but I was like, I was heated.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm in the wrong. I left the shit in the dryer. You took it out. I apologize. What do you want me to suck your dick? I don't know what you want me to do, buddy.
Yeah,
I wasn't contrite enough over the fucking dryer shit that you had to bring up the lint trap.
Like, motherfucker, I'll burn your fucking shit down with this lint. Shut the fuck up. I got somebody who can
I'll
do
let
this.
my son start the fire. We'll be outside your camper with the sparks.
Sitting there with the what is it? What is that? It's like
Flint.
Flint or life.
I don't.
Yeah. The flint and the little striking stone situation, bro. Don't make it again. Don't start no shit. Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit.
I did say stuff. I kept it clean.
Hey.
For what it's worth.
You just did the radio edit. That's okay. Oh my god. Okay, tell me more. What other what other beefs have you bumped into out here on the street? You did tell us one time how you had a lady try to take you that you be beating your kids. So you did share that. That bit with us.
That's the next one I was going to get into.
Yeah,
that was a nasty little bit of business. So this is while my wife was away. She's on a cruise. I'm working inside. The kids are playing outside. And here's the thing. There's quiet hours at this resort. They're not in the middle of the fucking day because everyone's up. It's like fucking 11 o'clock in the a.m. You're not sleeping then. So those aren't quiet hours.
Yeah.
Not only did my kids have their outside playing, they have friends along with them. So there's a lot of kids means a lot of noise. Yeah. That's true. But they're outside playing. And this lady starts yelling at them. And my oldest comes to get me. And I'm like, what? Someone's yelling at you? I'm coming outside. And the lady gets in my face. It's like almost immediately as I step outside. It's like, she's like, you let your kids run wild out here. You're a terrible father. I'm like, that's a real serious indictment of someone you just met 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
It was some real Karens in the wild shit. And her husband is this passive aggressive asshole. Starts like saying we're gonna leave and we're gonna say something to the resort on the way out. Like, do it. What are you complaining about? It's not quiet hours. They're kids. They're outside playing. They're not wrecking anything. They're digging in the sand, but sand could be put right back where sand was.
Yeah. And
you own it. They're not on your property, so what do you care? He says, well, I think your guys are taking up too much room with your setup. So I'm like, all right, we'll resolve this. We'll call the people. We called the people over. I asked them, like, look, how's my setup? Am I okay? They said, yeah, you're fine. And like the people at the resort after a while eventually said, don't worry about this person. We've had complaints about them.
So they were a no. So that's cool. Fuck them. Ugh.
They left. I hope they quit. I don't want to run into them again.
Yeah.
But I guess he started recording me for posterity or something like that. But like my kids are in the shower. Like, I'd like you to stop recording them. I don't know what kind of creeps you hang out with.
That shit is real.
Yeah. Stop recording my kids.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That one almost came to blows. I like, what? Like, the audacity of some people. What do you? The fuck you think you are?
When's the last time you got into a fight? Physical altercation.
Fight?
Yeah.
High school.
Good lord. Can you imagine fighting now at our big ages?
Oh my god. I did see at the park I'm at right now, not at this site, but at another site we were a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we've been hanging out in this area, going back and forth to this resort. They got a rule. It's 3 weeks in, 1 week out. So we go, we come back, trying to resolve all these issues, doctor's appointments and whatnot.
Yeah.
And these two dudes start scrapping, like a couple sites away. They're rolling around there on the ground, and the wife's trying to break it up. Like, you're gonna kill him! Stop! So I call, like, my wife is like, call the people. Like, it's none of my business. Let them resolve it. Like, no, you don't. You agree with her?
No. let them resolve it. No, I agree with you. Come on, man. You know I agree with you. I always agree. It is rare, if anything, I'm ever going to be like, oh, she was right. And there's no disrespect to your wife. You're just my man's, and I understand what it is. No, you don't call the people.
They're a couple states down. They're not gonna roll over unless it starts like Peter and the chicken shit and start heading over to my way. I don't care if they fight. Let them fight.
Yeah, bro. They ain't got shit to do with me or us for that matter. And you know, oh my god. And yeah, the people will come because somebody else will have called the people, but it ain't gonna be us because we ain't snitches in this fucking family.
Yeah, I worry sometimes. Like, I know there's a perception of trailer trash, and I don't want to be that, but like, I'm not that, you know. I hear it sometimes with other trailers. Like, what was it? It was yesterday morning. I hear motherfucking bitch. Like I'm still in bed, and I get up early, so that was like. It had to have been like 6 a.m. Like, damn, man.
Yeah.
What's got you? Either you're up all night and you're still angry, or like you start off angry really early, sir.
You can't be starting at 11, man. Come on, bro. Let's get 4 and maybe walk our way up there. God dang. Oh, that's crazy, dude. I mean, not to like pull my own story, but like I hear something. I'm sitting on the couch yesterday, and I'm like, I hear like essentially screaming. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on outside? I open the door, 4 cop trucks, because you know how the city I live in, they drive trucks. And my across the street and over one house neighbor is getting taken out in cuffs, and they are preparing to cuff his partner right there too. It's definitely DV. You know, they'll take them both in them situations. And I was like, yeah, this is crazy. And I run upstairs, I'm like, baby, they arrested the neighbor. They arrested the neighbor. She's like, who? I'm like, right. And she looks everywhere but the way I need her to look. And I'm like, how do you not see this like bright cop light that is shining on this porch that is clearly where your eyes should be pulling you toward? I love her to death, but bruh, sometimes. But and so they were definitely taken, and she was like, my kids, oh my god, I've never been in jail before. I've never ever been in jail before. And I hear the cop say something about like, yeah, you ran up and hugged me like you felt unsafe or something to that effect. You go, let me tell you, I've been raped. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what is that even? So I just closed the door. I think her point was that she's trying to explain to cop she has had bad experiences, and therefore to be in this particularly type of bad. I don't believe she's saying in this situation that she was assaulted. I think she's using it as an example to say why she should not be getting, sent to jail. But they definitely took both of them motherfuckers last night, and that shit was crazy. So I'm with you, man. It goes down sometimes, and here we are. It goes down sometimes.
Sometimes you gotta keep your head down. I don't want people getting abused or kids or domestic violence. Of course, if I see that shit go down, like maybe that is sexist of me. Like if it was some dude beating up on some woman, I try to intervene or try to stop that shit.
Was it a
dude?
Two
dudes scrapping?
Was it a dude beating up on a dude, or was it dudes fighting? Because there's a difference.
Fighting. They're rolling on the ground fighting.
Yeah. If it was just somebody getting, mollywopped and manhandled, and the other dude was just like being assaulted, we'll just use the word, you would have called somebody. I know you would have. You would have called somebody to whatever.
Yeah.
But these was dudes who was both throwing bows, and you let them handle it. They might have had beers after that, been cool. You don't know. We don't know how that played out.
Yeah, they know. Those are two dudes that did not decide to handle it like gentlemen. They got into some gangster shit.
Factual. Any more tales of Karens or having to get into it from the road, sir? Please go on.
I know I have to be cautious, especially in Texas where they're all packing. Like sometimes I get on edge and I gotta watch out. Like it was a travel day, it was a hard day, and we stopped to get some food, and the kids are being loud and screaming, and I hear somebody from a house shouting, "Shut them up! Shut those kids up!" And so I stand in front of the house. I can't see this person. They're just shouting from the house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those are my kids. You want to come out and say that to my face? Come on out. I'm out there for like and it felt like 5 minutes I was out there trying to coax this guy out.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, stop, we gotta go. Let's just go. Like, in hindsight, I'm like, I don't know if that guy could have came out with a heater. It's possible, but so I gotta be careful. But like, he didn't come out at all.
Oof. Man, you remain hopeful. Well, thankful that nothing went down. And
you know, some guy yell at my kid like that.
No. I mean, he didn't do nothing. So all he did was just yell. It's one of those situations where I like, let the kids know, hey man, you're safe. We're here. Don't even trip off of it. Fuck that dude, or whatever your equivalent of fuck that dude is for children, and just keep moving. Especially like I said, especially when you're in a damn, everybody got a gun. Everybody has multiple guns. As state like Texas, you know what I'm saying? You just explain to them, man, don't even trip, and everything will be all right. Cause ain't no point in going. Like I said, you going to yell at the motherfucker. He probably could have just shot you from the. Well, I mean, who knows? But you're right. It could lead places. So that's why you kind of that's one situation I'm just like, nah, man, fuck them. One get like, man, fuck you. That's it. Because nothing else came of it.
I could have just left it at that. Inviting the guy out to come outside maybe was not the wisest.
Yeah, you be ready for it, and then like I said, I don't know if we ready for it, man. We all.
I know. I got a bad back. I got a bad knee. I don't know if I'm ready to scrap. I'm gonna hurt myself throwing a punch more than I might hurt taking a punch.
You know it's going to be. You're like, let's say you catch somebody with some nasty. You know what I'm saying? Your fucking shoulder the next guy gonna be all cocked up. You're like, God damn it, baby, my shoulder. And she ain't gonna try to come rub your shoulder because she gonna be like, you shouldn't have done that, dummy. And she won't be wrong. She will not be wrong. Knuckles gonna be fucked up. You have to hand your hand in a pouch of peas. Don't do that to yourself. Like I said, I get it. The instinct is always right. Defend my family. I'm with you all the way with the shits completely. But don't throw yourself into harm's way, I guess is what I would say about that.
Or put the kids in harm's way. Yeah.
So
they catch you stray because I fucking yelled at some guy.
Yeah.
I'm never forgive myself. Not to bring this down.
I mean, it's just honest. So who's in the chat? Let's go peek in the chat and see who's over in the chat with us. Oh no, it's somebody trying. It's spam trying to tell us to get cheap viewers on stream. Streamboo.com. Remove the space. I didn't know there was a space. Thank you, Sung Min with multiple eyes. I will here. No, I will not put that in the chat. I will not show it on the chat. I will not show it on the screen because I feel like that's some illegal ass bullshit. And third, it's okay that we don't have a ton of live viewers right now. We started way later than we normally do because my man's in a different time zone. So fuck off. And then we leave him alone. You know what I'm saying? Just like a man yelling out the window at a house in Texas. So
I did. My wife got into somebody, but this is more debate than anything else.
I love it either way. Could that mean it's in her? She got it in her ass too. She can't help it either.
Yeah, we're at the poolside. I go to switch to laundry because the laundry facility is by the pool. I come back and she's kind of in a heated discussion with somebody about immigrants. This is in Oregon. I don't know. Yeah, liberal state, but who cares? They got them white supremacists out there.
I'm about to say, remember, Oregon was founded to be a white haven. Liberal or not, trash ass state. Fuck Oregon.
Yeah. So this guy's like, this guy says to me, like, he's like, oh, you're a lawyer, so don't you think it's nice that you don't have to go to law school in order to take the bar? Look it up. I'm like, I did look it up. I have to go to law school to take the bar. But he said it with such confidence.
Yeah.
He said it with his whole chest. Like, I had to look it up afterwards just to double check. Like, did I go to law school for nothing?
Stupid Juris Doctorate. Fuck yeah.
And I did. He was wrong.
Of course he was wrong.
But
he was wrong. Fucking morons.
But the immigrants debate was like, he was I don't know how they got into it. I was gone for 5 seconds. I come back and they're debating about immigrants. His thing was like, immigrants are getting all these benefits, and my wife was like, "Well, that doesn't sound right. Let me look that up." And she looks it up on her phone. It's like, "No, you gotta be a citizen to get the benefits you're talking about. You know, you can't. The legal immigrants are not getting the benefits you want." And she said something like, he's like saying something about hearing it on Fox News, and she said she doesn't believe Fox News, and he's like, "Oh, you don't listen to Fox News?" She's like, "No, I don't listen to Fox News. I don't listen to CNN. I don't listen to MSNBC. I don't listen to any of that shit." And that threw him for a loop because he had his whataboutism. He has packed and ready his whataboutism, and it's like she diffused it. And he's like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do with this? I had it already." And for the record, we try to watch PBS NewsHour. An hour's enough.
Yeah. And probably not even often. Like, we'll do that. Like, hey, what do you do? How often do you do that? Like, once, twice a week?
Okay, a couple of times a week. We're up to 3 for times a week, and then we kind of petered out.
Yeah,
it's too much to take sometimes.
That's exactly, especially in this current state, bro. It's just like, what a fucking. Ugh.
And this is the kicker. He's talking about who's entitled to the land, and she comes back with this. Well, no one's entitled to the land. It was all stolen. It's all stolen land.
Yeah.
And his little kid was right there, and she turns to her dad and says, "Daddy, didn't we win it?" And he got real quiet, and without saying anything, he just left. He just walked away from the conversation. It was so weird. Like, is this guy really just come on, kids, let's go, and just left?
It's again, we just said you probably should do that, and so he did. He's just like, you know what? Why do this? And he just skirted on. It wasn't going to be the fight he thought it was going to be. It was going to be some well-reasoned facts from an educated woman who knows her fucking shit and knows it even better now after years of travel and research and learning, you know what I'm saying, from native people throughout this country. And no, he wasn't prepared for that. He was saying he
was not
ready for some other shit, but not that. So it is what it is, man. So you got caught out there with that bullshit.
It goes the circling back around. Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit.
Easy as that, man. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
sharing. Give me 1 second. I have to start the car.
Oh, it's all good. Well, here, let's listen and hear with the roar of the old F2 whatever F250. What truck is this you got?
F-150.
It's a 150. Okay.
You should upgrade to a 250.
I know you had to drive a big truck to haul that fucking trailer, so that's why I was thinking there's the bigger one. Oh, that's lovely.
First like a kitten. It's the only way to run the outlet in here. My computer's dying.
Yeah. So it's all good. Give some juice here. Let me check this iPad while we got it. All right, we're good. So I'm with you on all of that, man. Thanks for sharing the tales from some always interesting tales from the road and so forth and so on. Pip and Cheerio. Here's some tea time. Oh, here, I guess I can actually lift this mug, though I have finished all my tea. Here's some tea time. So I didn't do a show. We didn't do a show last week. What was popping last week that made me say fuck it? I don't know what it was, but so I got back. We got back from Virginia, and we did a show when I got back from Virginia, so we talked about it. But maybe 2 days after the last show we recorded, I was already sick, but I didn't feel too deathly ill. I had a snotty snoot, and that was about it actually. And for a hot second, I mean, just like day and some change, I had a wee bit of a sore throat. And actually that was only in the morning. So it was not something that lasted the entire day. So I was just like, oh, it's a bullshit ass cold. Xander had a bullshit ass cold, and I was in the car with him, so fuck it. And but Vanessa was concerned, and she's like, do we? Because she started feeling bad. She's like, do we need to take a COVID test? And I'm like, I guess. I go, but I mean, they ain't giving them to us no more, man. I'm trying to save these shits, but I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me take it because if anything, she be right. She be right, man. She just be right, and I have to be better about understanding like she ain't calling this shit out of nowhere, dog. She be right.
Mm.
So I'm like, fuck it, let me get up in there. So I swab the deck, go take the COVID test, and I look at that damn test, and sure as shit, I had fucking COVID. And I'm like, get the fuck
up on you.
out of here, bro. It's like the second time I've had it official, and I was just super salty about it. And I'm just like, hey, this is a bitch. Because then, of course, she's sick. And of course, it's probably COVID. You know what I'm saying? If she's sick. So I make Lee test. No, Lee just tested out. She was like, just to be sure. He was like, let me make sure. And because Lee was also not feeling great, tested negative. Told my mom, because my mom, you know what I'm saying, we've been hanging with her to have her, and she was super sick. And in fact, she hadn't even sounded good at even like when I talked to her last, which was I think Sunday. She still wasn't, back to full snuff yet. They had her test, both negative. Lee's negative, my mom's negative. My mom tested again a few days later because, of course, she's still sick, still comes back negative. So it's whatever she got, it was not COVID. I was like, well, it did not test positive for COVID. Vanessa still thinks she might have had COVID or might have COVID. But yeah, Vanessa immediately got on it because, of course, she has an autoimmune disorder and got Paxlovid, and they gave her something else. They gave her like a nose, what is that? Drops? You know what it is? The spray, nose spray, nasal spray. Yeah. So they gave her, and they prescribed her that, and she was thinking she's okay from COVID recently, but then they were like, she said, I got something going on, and so she called the doctor, and he's like, oh yeah, it happens all the time. You'll get COVID, and then you'll immediately get a follow-up infection of just a actual, like cold. It's just how this shit works. It's crazy. The body is already in such a state, and so they gave her erythromycin, I believe, basically antibiotics to kind of help her get past the post-COVID cold that seems to happen a lot when people get COVID. And so it's just like, how fucking rando. It means Xander probably had COVID, passed it to the rest of us because, of course, we're all contained within in a car driving all the way to damn, Virginia from here and back and so forth. And no disrespect to my son, he probably didn't know and of course doesn't think to test. But there you go. So speaking of Xander, how funny, not haha, but weird. He hits me up today and goes, I had to take my girl to the emergency room. Is this what you be feeling like? And this what you've been feeling like all the times you had to take it to the emergency room? And so I kind of feel terrible for my man. Because I don't wish that shit upon my worst enemy. The feeling you have of having somebody you love in a state of emergency. But at the same time, it strikes me with a sense of fatherly pride, like you out here learning, you out here adulting, you out here manning, doing what you got to do as a partner and taking care of your lady, and that made me feel kind of nice. And I like that his instinct is, of course, man, my dad had to go through this shit with me multiple times with him, and of course with his brother and so forth, and so. His lady is fine. It is some stuff that she has to have revisited here in the coming weeks, but we hope everything is we know everything will be well. We don't hope, we call it as such because we know it will be, and that's just what it is. But it just was like, I'm both sad, super sad for him at the same time. I'm like, fuck, bro, that does suck when you're, saying you got somebody you love in a way, but also how nice that your first thoughts was, man, my dad had to go through this bullshit with me when I was like, hospitalized. I'm like, yes, sir. And it does indeed suck something heartily. So I'm with you on that.
There for one of those.
Yeah. So the way it all works, y'all. Otherwise, man, we grew, but oh man. Okay, can I talk about this without ever? Okay, here's the deal. I have worked where I have worked for very nearly 25 years. And this the third time what is happening to me. And I just literally just want to and laughed heartily in the face of my superiors today when they announced it to me. So once upon a time, I worked in one department, was told, hey, this department has a bunch of work. We're going to lend you to them, and then you're going to come back over here. And the lending never ended, and I was made a permanent part of that department. Once. Then where I'm at now, same thing happens. They come to me, they say, hey, this other department really needs some support, and we're going to lend you to them, and eventually you'll come back. And I'm like, once, twice, three times a lady. And again, I did not get sent back. I was sent away and never to return until today. When out of nowhere, while I'm at lunch, so I'm actually technically not even supposed to be on, but I hear my Teams ping, so I jump in and right quick. I'm like, all right, who's pinging me in Teams at this hour, this particular time? And my boss is like, hey, can you jump on real quick for a quick meeting? And I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, am I about to get fired? I really go through the day right quick. I'm like, did I do something fucked up today? Hold on. Third time.
Starts racing.
Third, no, I really was kind of vibey about it. I'm like, if they're gonna fire me, they're gonna give me severance. So third time though, it is hey man, this department really got some work. They got some action popping, and they need people like you because they think you know it. And we're gonna lead you to them, and you're gonna like, no, don't worry, you're definitely coming back. I'm like, why do y'all? It's like, why do y'all feel the need to lie? Don't lie about it. It's cool to be like, you ain't coming back, because basically we ain't got the work to support you currently. But then one day you will, and hopefully I'll rotate back in and keep on pushing. But once again, my job is changing, and I'm moving over to. I just locked down some cool ass shit that I really learned and can do, and I was like, fuck yeah, I can do this. And just as I get it learned and locked down, it's like, yep, no bother, don't do it no more. We good. So that's just stupid to me. So tomorrow is my last day in my current department. And Monday I go start training in the new one. Just like that.
Do I say congrats?
It's just a don't care. They ain't giving me no more bread. It's not a come up. I'm employed, and we are happy for that. Gainfully employed and so forth and so on. So we can't knock the hustle. And we keep motherfucking moving, y'all. So that's what's been populating in T's life. Oh, my youngest kid, the graduation stuff is starting to come in. So they got their tassel in the mail the other day. And they didn't know until they got it that I paid for the upgrade to the tassel, which is a badass 25. It's all jewel encrusted. It's an extra $10, y'all. It didn't cost me like I wouldn't like out breaking a bank and nothing like that, but still. But I thought it was just super dope. And of course, he was like, he was like real happy with it. And I was like, that's what's up. So as we get closer and closer to that, I think he says he got like, when it's all counted off, it's like 30 some odd days of education left in this situation, which is wild to me. And we're going Saturday to look at tuxes for prom. So it's what it is to be an OG, man.
Going with tails?
What's up?
They still sell tuxes with tails?
It's got to be a thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And God, no. We'll see. I actually can't wait to see what they choose, because they are unique in their fashion situation. You know what I'm saying? As a trans man, he will often will be like, yeah, I got that popping, but I'm about to paint these nails. You know what I'm saying? So you do some things that lean just a little more feminine, if in some people's eyes. And I think it's super dope, because reality of it is it's neither masculine or feminine. It just is. And I think that's super dope.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So I'm of course super proud about my kid out here crushing it. What's that? Anything else? Yeah, okay. There you go. There. Full breath. Everybody, you learned everything. That is everything. That is our news and our personal life news from us. But you know what the deal is, man. Every week, before shit was sweet, before the internet made it a thing, we head to Reddit and then the subreddit, Am I the Asshole? And we have a whole segment about it. And here, it has a video package too. So I'm going to push and go. That's what's up, people. We outside. Never the asshole. Each week I pull several and we decide if. And so we're going to do that once more. Let me wrap them out to you. I got one from a great value. I'm the asshole, AITAH r/AITAH, which is not, OGS. But I thought it was a interesting enough one that I will bring it to the table. And that is, am I the asshole for leaving my own birthday dinner because my girlfriend turned it into a proposal for herself? Man, your eyes got big.
I just we talked about audacity earlier. That's some fucking audacity right there.
Next from the OG, the original, am I the asshole? r/am I the asshole? Am I the asshole? I yucked my wife's yum by accident. And the last one,
it's hard to accidentally be an asshole, but it's possible.
And the last one, am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's kids to eat what's for dinner or don't eat at all? Where would you like to begin?
That often goes on in our house. So that often goes on in our house. We got picky eaters, so I can't imagine that person being an asshole for that. I am. How? I gotta hear the first one.
Which one? The proposal one?
Yeah.
All right, let's start with that one.
You can tell by my reaction, I was gonna pick it.
Am I the asshole for leaving my own birthday dinner because my girlfriend turned it into a proposal for herself? I, 28 male, had my birthday dinner last weekend, and my girlfriend, Sarah, 27F, offered to plan it. I was excited because I usually keep things low key, but she said she wanted to make it special. She booked a nice restaurant and invited close friends and family. Everything was going great until it was time for dessert. The waiter brought out a cake, but instead of my name, it said, "Will you marry me, Sarah?" I was completely blindsided. Sarah got all teary-eyed, turned to me and said, "Well, this is the best surprise ever, right?" Everyone around us started clapping and her friends were filming. I just sat there, stunned. She took my silence as hesitation and started going on about how she knew I wasn't big on grand gestures, but she couldn't wait anymore. So she took, hold on, another quote, took matters into her own hands. At that moment, I stood up and said, "This is my birthday. If you wanted a proposal, you should have talked to me about it first." Then I grabbed my stuff and walked out. Sarah was mortified, and her friends blew up my phone, calling me an asshole for embarrassing her and ruining the night. She even said I humiliated her when she was just trying to do something romantic. Now my family is split. Some say I should have just gone along with it for the night, while others think she crossed a major boundary. So, am I the asshole for leaving my own birthday dinner because my girlfriend hijacked it for a proposal?
I mean, even if he is an asshole, is he alone in that? Because that's kind of fucked up of her to do. Like, I understand if she said she tried to flip the script and be untraditional and said, like, I'm going to propose to him. That's fine, but you can't say, like, I'm going to stage it so you propose to me.
Yeah.
The only thing that she could have done to make it worse is say no. No, I will not marry you. I'm not ready yet.
Said no to her own damn proposal. Let's get into the comments here. This guy says, "I guess that's the gift she gave you was to show you her true colors. Not the asshole, and you might be dodging a bullet there." Somebody responds to that and says, "Yeah, it turns out her true color is red," in parentheses, flag. Somebody responds, "LOL, at least it wasn't an engagement ring." And then somebody responds to that and says, "Unless the second surprise was a ring hidden in the cake."
I think there was.
And then somebody says, "Nah, that would mean she had to buy a ring and the main character doesn't buy the ring. Ain't that a blip?" Now, this is where it takes an interesting turn to me. This person says, "This is an AI post." That's what he says. Then somebody responds to that and says, "For real, it uses basic names. Friends are mad. Family is split. Family is split. Ruin the night," in quotes, blowing up the phone. It's gotten downright boring. These are people commenting because they believe this to be an AI post. The split. fucking AI already really needs to up its game. At least it stopped using EM dashes constantly. So something about this tells these people, or at least makes these people believe this to be an AI written story. I don't know if it is or not. I just thought it was interesting, and my friend got a kick out of it, and so did I. So if AI did it, good job, AI. You entertained me.
What? Well, why would someone AI create a? Does AI want to know how humans respond to like surprise proposals for the upcoming AI war? I don't know.
Can't call it, man. Skylab, not Skylab. What is it?
A Skynet.
Skynet. What the know how we get upset by shitty stories or whatever? Can't call it, man. How about this one? You know, we gotta do this dinner one, I think. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's kids to eat what's for dinner or don't eat at all? Taking just that. Is this person an asshole?
No.
We disagree.
Okay.
I, 27 female, have been with my boyfriend, 30, for a little over a year now. We recently moved in together. I have an 8-year-old from an ex, and my boyfriend has 2 kids, ages 6 and 9. Since we moved in together, I now have his children every weekend, and he works Fridays, so I'm alone with him till he's off work. Friday night, I made meatloaf with roasted broccoli and mashed potatoes. Sounds delicious. My son eats well. He knows to eat the best he can, and if he doesn't finish his food, that's okay. But at least he has to eat the most he can, unless he don't. And that's how this is written. Unless he don't want a before bedtime snack. Should we be giving snacks before bedtime? I don't know. I already disagree with you about some of the whole notion of this, and now you're telling me bedtime snacks. I don't know if that's something you should be doing. I hold my boyfriend children to these same rules, which we haven't had any issues with till Friday night. Neither of the kids liked the food. The 9-year-old ate it. The 6-year-old refused, in which I said, I'm not making you another meal. So he went to bed without dinner. When my boyfriend got home, his 6-year-old was complaining he was hungry. My boyfriend got upset with me that I refused to make him something else. I told him I wouldn't hold his children to different rules than my child. He got upset and ended up making him something else to eat. Then told me that was horrible of me to deny a child dinner, and blamed it on his young age, explaining I had to be more lenient. I explained that I had raised a young child before, and I was once a young child and followed those same rules. What the fuck you think that means something right? Because your parents was. We'll get to it. Let's. Yeah. No.
Although I disagree with you about like whether she's an ass or not, I don't do that. Like I did it. Like we're trying to break some patterns here.
Yeah, for sure. Hope did that, so hopefully you don't. So that's the point, people. Yeah. I explained that I had raised a younger child before, and I was once a young child and followed those same rules, which just resulted in a huge argument and him calling me ignorant. Unnecessary.
Told you what?
Ignorant. You get ignorant. It's just ignorant. Today we got a call from my boyfriend's ex. Yeah, that does make sense. And now the children don't want to come till Saturday or Friday night late when my boyfriend is off work. Again, that probably should be the way this is going early in this situation. This caused another big argument between my boyfriend and I. He once again called me an ignorant a-hole and said I need to change my ways of thinking. Am I the asshole? I did not force this kid to go to bed hungry. I suggested him eat a larger portion of mashed potatoes and a smaller portion of other things, which he refused and didn't want to make anything else himself. Oh, well, yeah, go make you some food. Now, see, there's the difference right there. I'm thinking she is preventing him from going to eat. No, he just was like, I ain't doing it. Then you dumb. But you also are sick, so you kind of are dumb by just design. You got some time you're growing into a person, so you are dumb just because you ain't got no fucking frontal lobe yet. So
I mean, look, I say this to my kids often. This ain't a restaurant. When we go to a restaurant, you can order what you want.
I
When
get
we're home and cooking,
fully grasp that because I was raised that same way where it's just like you gonna eat what's in front of you or you not gonna eat it all. And what that would end up being is one Xander not eating. And as it turns out, it's a lot of things with Xander. Xander things taste weird. He has textural issues and so forth and so on. Probably, if we thought about it, if we probably researched a little bit, a slight touch of the tism. It seems like we all seem to have a little slight touch of the tism amongst us, and it's probably just some shit like that there. And that means it's not as easy. It was never going to be as easy as you got to eat it because he simply. It's not that he won't eat it. He simply could not bring himself to. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I remember once trying to actually force the issue and make him eat broccoli and him almost barfing. So it's like, it's one of those situations where it's like, fair enough, bro. You really cannot, you only can eat what you can eat. And now 21, be 22 this year, still pretty much eats like that. He likes what he likes. But what's interesting, what is interesting though, as he's gotten older, you know something he discovered he very much enjoys? Sushi. My kid eats sushi. I don't even fucking eat sushi. But my son goes out to sushi restaurants and wrecks it. It's like that's crazy to me.
my picky kid likes sushi. Won't eat anything my wife makes, but we'll eat sushi. Won't eat eggs, but eat sushi. Like, eggs are gross. I mean,
it's I find it fascinating every damn time. But let's delve into the comments here. Shark Girl is the commentator here, and she says, "You're the asshole. I'm assuming that you're well-intentioned and feel that this is the most helpful approach for kids' development. So you're not the asshole for that. But this approach is outdated and not helpful to development. It teaches your kids to ignore their own bodily sensations, hunger cues, etc., which makes it harder for them to self-regulate their own eating and food choices in the future. It can also create a negative/punitive relationship with food. Even if it's working for your kid, not every kid is the same and may not work for your boyfriend's kids. It's not okay to have a child go without dinner or without food for an extended period of time when they're hungry. The main part you're the asshole for, though, is that it isn't your child. You don't get to decide how to parent the child, especially if the child's parents both agree on how the child should be parented and treated, and you're trying to go against that. If you're unwilling to care for the kids in any other way, then you need to tell your boyfriend that you can't look after them for meal times and accept, however, he decides to proceed around that. You definitely don't get to be annoyed that the kids don't want to come over for those meal times. I would also refuse to spend time around someone who's made me experience significant physical discomfort and deny me access to food."
okay. Well, you might have flipped my thinking on this. That was very, very well thought out.
Now, someone beneath them responds, if this is the logic you're going to use with the parent should be doing the parenting and leaving OP out of it. Arriving late Friday or Saturday sounds like a win. I agree. Which I said that they should probably not be with his girlfriend yet. Again, they just moved in together, so this is early in the process, and it should probably be him present along with her. So that's a together thing. It's weird because then you're making her a babysitter, which is also kind of just fucked up in my opinion. Don't do that to this woman. You're putting her in some type of way. And so I don't think it is. Reddit thinks this person is an asshole. They agree with me, of course. And I did not choose because of that, but still. Wait a minute. We got another glow in the dark comment. I try to give those the credit they're due. This one says, because this one disagrees. So we got one that goes the opposite. Not the asshole. The 6-year-old was given a sandwich by OP at 5, was offered a nice dinner at 6:30, and refused to even take 3 bites. OP's useless man came home at 8. God damn. The child wasn't starving. And also, OP told the 6-year-old, nah, see, I don't like that. The child wasn't starving. You don't know how that kid's stomach felt. Don't
That's true.
don't fucking shit on somebody's lived experience. What may not be starving to you could be famished to that little 6-year-old. Get the fuck out of here with that book. I'm gonna keep reading this, but I mean, come on, dog. The child wasn't starving, and also the OP told the 6-year-old, then you can make yourself food/sandwich, and the kid refused. Again, also I just told you the kid is 6. The brain ain't all right there yet. So what do you want from the OP? You all love to throw around how disorder eating starts. Maybe this was what the household can afford or is nutritionally sound. Children would eat garbage and sugar 24/7. So sorry that an adult is trying to give them a proper meal. The child has eaten the sandwich at 5 and dad came home at 8. I think people are acting like this child was starved when likely he was acting his age and throwing a tantrum/power play. OP did right standing her ground. See that turn of phrase right there. I don't like either. OP, this merging of families isn't going well, and your man seems like an unappreciative dick. Rethink this relationship. They constantly be on that bullshit on Reddit. Reddit be trying to get people to break up all the time. I have tried to be better about it over the years, but every now and again it do be like, y'all gotta not be together. In this situation, I think this just this is new and just needs some
You gotta watch that ignorant asshole shit though.
Bruh, yeah. It's like, bruh, that shit, that is where I'm like, yeah, fuck you, dude. Then we ain't cool, my guy. That's just what it's gonna be. So fully agree with you on that shit. So basically, everybody beneath here, of course, because that's why this comment is going in the dark, because of course it has lots of upvotes and awards and the like there, and people are like, yeah, man, not the asshole at all. Oh, wait, actually 2 more. Okay, last 2 glow in the dark comments here. We'll hit them both. We'll hit them fast.
All right.
Those kids are too old for you guys to just unilaterally make decisions like this. You guys need to go through all the rules and consequences step by step. Make sure their mom knows what the rules and consequences are there. Give them options if they truly do not like what you make. I was the kid who sat at the table for 6 hours because I did not eat those nasty, lumpy mashed potatoes, and my father refused to believe there was anyone in the world who didn't like mashed potatoes. Please don't force a child to eat that they truly do eat food that they truly do not like. Make sure all the adults are on the same page, mom, dad, and you, and then present it to the kids. And then somebody responds to that. I was the kid who vomited every time I was forced to eat just one bite, developed food aversions and a severe eating disorder, and still struggle in my 60s. OP, just because you think you turned out okay doesn't mean every child will roll with it. Current thinking, last I checked, is show your kids that you enjoy the foods, encourage them to eat some, and don't make it into a fight. Also, I'm going to say everyone sucks here, but I think you might suck more, albeit out of ignorance. If you value your relationship, find a way to get on the same page as your boyfriend. Hey, cool. That's what's up, y'all.
Gotta work it out.
Yeah. Last one. Am I the asshole I yucked my wife's yum by accident? Taking just that.
All right. It's hard to be an asshole on accident, but it's possible. So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
But I'll keep an open mind.
My wife wanted to try an egg white omelet the other day. No problem. Made the family omelets, and when it came to hers, I separated the egg whites from the yolk. And when I looked at it, saw a visual that grossed the hell out of me and kind of quivered. You're a child. My wife saw my reaction and asked, what's wrong? I didn't tell her at first because of how bad it was. She pressed, and I finally told her. The egg whites look like 100 men busted a nut in a bowl, and now I'm making an omelet with it.
Oh, man.
She went without eating, and I'm an ass. I'm busting up laughing about it, which makes her roll her eyes. He spelled roll as in a role in a movie, as opposed to roll. Am I the asshole for yucking her yum?
All right. Yeah, you are. It wasn't that much of an accident.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Yeah, you're the asshole. You said the thing she was about to eat looked like cum. You didn't, and you didn't apologize. Gross. Let's see. You're the asshole. You could have just said it looked slimy and gross to me. You didn't have to go into such detail. It made her lose her appetite. This person says, and I agree, egg whites look nothing like cum. What cum is this motherfucker looking at? maybe his eggs is a problem. You might need new eggs, my guy. No kidding. Egg whites actually look like nothing, and they certainly don't look like the product of a hundred anything. What the fuck did I just read? Maybe OP was high when he wrote this. You're the asshole, mostly because you say it was an accident, and it was patently not. The whole conversation is super childish, and there were 100 better ways for you to deal with it. Yes, of course, as you can hear. Yeah, this does the subreddit thinks he's an asshole. Lots of like lots of I mean like a ton of posts that are you can downvote shit, and when they get downvoted enough, they just kind of they collapse, is how the way Reddit works. And it is lots of downvoted comments in this thing. So that's crazy. That, man, it's wild. That's just great. Yeah, it's wild to me. I'm just saying it's a wild one, and we're gonna keep a motherfucking movie. That was this week's Am I the Asshole? Let's talk entertainment. What you been watching, reading, listening to, getting into?
Shit. Nothing. Damn. Did I already talk about seeing Wicked?
Who cares? Wicked just. I'm going to talk about Wicked too, because it just came out on the Cock last week, and so it's on Peacock if you have access to it. It made its streaming debut last Friday, and guess what? I watched Wicked again. I've watched Wicked several times at this point, and I watched a bunch of people react to Wicked. I love that movie. Love it, and similar to Endgame, it gets me in my feels right a couple of times throughout it, but right toward the as they are singing Defying Gravity, bruh, gets my goat every time. So I'm with you, man. Yeah, I'm glad you've been enjoying Wicked.
My kids loved it. My kids loved it so much.
Yeah.
They're still singing.
Defying Gravity is so good. Have you seen they did a little medley at the Academy Awards?
No, I didn't see that.
It's on YouTube. Super easy to find. I think you and the kids and the missus might very much enjoy that. The Ariana Grande sings "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," and then I feel like Cynthia Erivo sings something else, and then they come together to do Defying Gravity, or at least a bit of Defying Gravity, and that shit made me cry because because she's getting toward the end of the song, and of course, they are singing together, and Ariana Grande's "I Hope You're Happy," and it just gets me so hard in my feels, man. It's just like, bro, it is Captain America saying "Avengers Assemble," which still gets me just. Right. So it's one of those situations where it just catches your boy off in his field. So I'm with you on that. I finished, and I think many people did. The season finale of Severance came on this past Friday as well. It was really good, like astoundingly good, impressively good. I did not think they could manage, and they really did manage some greatness with that bad boy. So highly recommend if you have access to Apple TV Plus to give Severance a watch, both seasons 1 and 2, because season 2 just wrapped. Been hearing about a show, and I finally was like, let me give this a bit of a watch. And I kind of need to get back to it, but it's just life, a bit life. And so Common Side Effects. It's an American anime, I guess is how I want to describe it. The way it looks is very anime, but it's on Adult Swim, but it's also on Max if you if you were to stream it, and that's where I've been watching that. And it's about a guy who finds these mushrooms that are literally can just save the planet. They save people, you know what I'm saying? And he wants to figure out a way to grow them so he can share them with the entire planet. And what he's finding out slowly but surely is that's not as easy as he thinks it's going to be. And of course, he's being hunted down by a cabal that doesn't want this healing plant out in the, or excuse me, fungi
Oh,
out in the world, and they're constantly trying to kill him. And that's is really fun, kind of fun to watch. On
they
Disney,
killed over some mushrooms.
you got to see what the mushrooms can do, and I think you'd be thoroughly impressed. So, Common Side Effects on Max or Adult Swim on, I guess, Sunday nights. I don't know if it's still coming. I don't know if it's if the season's finished or if it's still airing live. So, but you know what's up. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney Plus. I finished it up. Fan fucking tastic. Now, I initially was not going to watch it because the guy who does Spider-Man's voice did an interview and he was like, you know what I love about it? It's not woke. And I'm just like, get the
Stop that shit. God.
I need you to know, if you watch this show, it is by far the most woke. It is so woke. I think he might have been joking or trying to set people up to watch it who wouldn't normally watch it. This shit is wokety woke in all the best ways. And I love it. Gender swap characters, race swapped characters, everything you know and love about the Spidey universe. So good. Fuck with it the long and the short way. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is fantastic. You should watch it. I got a Victory Royale in Fortnite. Love that for me. I got back to playing Alan Wake 2. My intention is to finish that game. And then I have what's next is Call of Duty Vanguard. And then I want to finish Red Dead 2. I played Red Dead, a good chunk of Red Dead 2 on Xbox Game Pass. But then they removed it from Game Pass. And so I have not played it in years, but now I own the disc because I got it at a really, really good price. And we shall see if I can still play, if I can play from memory Red Dead and just get back into the story, or if I'm going to have to start from scratch. And I don't mind because that game's great. But that is what I have been fucking with. But here, let me push go on this. Let's start wrapping this bad boy up, y'all. Housekeeping. Give me solid. Tune in every Thursday. Because that's when we post the show, but it's also when we record the show. Usually around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time now, aren't we? Because we're in daylight. You can typically join us in the chat over on Twitch and or YouTube. That's what's going on, man. Hey, make sure you like and comment on YouTube. And please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. That usually means on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks to toss our way, consider joining us over at Patreon, where members at the $5 tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. We also got merch over at tpublic.com/user. Stays Crunchy and Milk, all one word, and Crunchy, of course, is spelled with a K. And feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you. And hear from you, we have, let me jump over here to, here. Actually, no, I need this wide so I can go over here to the old phone number where we got a text message from Miko Michelle. And what did she say? Hey there. Long time no feedback because I took too long to watch the Krempat episodes and felt silly waiting to send feedback so late. While listening to the most recent episode, I was reminded how much I enjoy hearing your family on last week's show. Love your son's personalities. Your personalities. Your sister sounds like the sweetest person, and your mom sounds like a great time. Loved every minute of it, and just wanted to let you know. Also, I got excited when I heard you were reading Wicked because I really wanted to hear your thoughts since it was very different than the movie, and I don't know anyone else that read it. I was a little sad to hear that you couldn't get into it, but I totally understand. I listened to the audiobook, so maybe that made the difference because I can't say I would have been able to stick with reading it either. Wow, wild differences in the book, LOL. Anyway, just take care. It says, oops, this is Miko. And I know because I have your number saved. You don't have to worry about it. It's saved in our system, so I know who you are when you hit us up. Also, over on Spotify, we get comments there too. And I didn't know if I read the last comment, so I'm going to snag them right quick. April said, I truly enjoyed listening to your family trying the Oreos. It was heartwarming to hear you all reminisce together. These moments of shared memories are really special. I love the excitement and fear in your mom's voice opening the door and seeing her baby boy. Aww. My man Soul Power hit us up and said, I always love hearing you and the fam, brother. Peace and blessings to y'all. Soul Power also hit us up for last week's episode, but it was just fire emoji. Not just, it was fire emoji. And that means shit was fire. So thank you for that. Thank you for getting down with the get down there. I ran out of time. I can't. The song played out, y'all. So hey, that's what it is. Thank you so very much for getting down with the get down. Our missing men are the 216 Zone, Tatum 216, Lunchbox 2099. This, of course, the RV'n Puerto Rican. It's my homeboy, Gabe. Thank you so very much for joining me tonight, man. It's such a good time.
Thank you for having me. I needed I needed it.
Hey,
let me just say that.
I love it. I think this has worked out very well. I'll let you know after the fact how this. Well, again, we know we have a backup recording because this bad boy still recording. This is recording, so we good to go, people. We're gonna have it. We're gonna have one way. Either way. So here's the deal. Just in case you're wondering, we have the video. The video does record. It's the audio underneath it that becomes the issue. But now, in case the audio doesn't record on the Talk Labs situation, I have it right here in the Zoom record. So we got the audio. I can look at it. When Gabe talks, it bounces. When I talk, it bounces. So we're good. Don't trip. So we got it. It's just me having to put them together if the audio doesn't record on the in the Talk Labs, and that's not as difficult as you think it is. So, and in fact, I already do it every week. The difference is it's already pretty much synced perfectly. And in this case, I'd have to put in some effort to slide it around and get it all synced up. But hey, who fucking cares, right? You know what it is. We got this. And of course, the internet's Tamriel 713. Don't make me push into traffic. We'll do it again next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.